welcome to Served Up. This podcast is where hospitality meets leadership and where we take an honest look at the business of beverage. I'm Bridget Albert. I've spent my career building cocktail programs, mentoring rising talent, judging competitions, and advocating for women in our industry. I'm joined by my co-host, Eric Heemer, one of only 5 people in the world to hold both the Master Sommelier and Master of Wine titles. His depth of knowledge and global perspective brings tremendous insight to every conversation. This is Served Up. Hey y'all, it's Bridget here. Joel Blum joins us to share the latest updates from the LA Spirits Awards and the High Spirits Awards, offering an inside look at how these influential competitions continue to evolve and recognize excellence across the beverage industry. As co-founder of the LA Spirit Awards, Joel discusses the importance of impartial judging, diverse industry expertise, and while third-party validation through awards can help brands build credibility, increase visibility, and earn consumer trust. He also highlights the growing impact of the High Spirit Awards, which celebrates excellence in cannabis and hemp-derived beverages, providing consumers, retailers, and producers with a trusted guide in one of the industry's fastest growing categories. So sit back, relax, grab yourself your favorite cocktail, and enjoy the show. Joel, welcome to Served Up. I'm so happy to have you back on the show.
Happy to be back.
It's so nice to hear your voice, Lots been going on in the beverage space for sure over the past year. For our listeners who may not already know, can you tell us what sets the LA Spirit Awards really apart from other spirit competitions?
Well, when my partner Nicolette Teo and I started it, we have a lot of experience in the spirits industry, and we were just looking at what the judging teams look like on various competitions, and we were just sort of surprised, even though we'd been in the industry for a long time, when you look at the photos of rooms full of judges, it just seemed like a very homogeneous group of mostly elderly white guys. And that isn't representative of the industry anymore. The industry is really dynamic, it's quite youthful, and it's amazingly diverse. I mean, all races, genders, ages, like just everything. And we wanted to put together a group of judges that represented the industry, because our feeling is the judges give awards. The awards are their recommendations for what people should buy and what they should drink and what's going on in the industry. And we thought the people giving that advice should be representative, both the industry and consumers. And that's, in a nutshell, where we started. And I think we did a really amazing job. I mean, yes, I'm prejudiced, but I think we have the greatest judging team out there. There's certainly other things involved about the administration of our competition. We're, fiercely unbiased. We are structured in a way that the managers do not get involved in the judging and the judges do not get involved in the management. We think that's very important. So I think for the most part, most people, even in the industry, whether they're consumers or whether they're in the industry, they don't really understand how competitions function. And so they just see an award and they don't really know what went into that award. And so we're trying to educate people on what that's about.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, and I think that you're doing a great job, and you do have the most diverse set of judges out of any competition that I currently judge today,
Uh-huh.
which is pretty amazing. It's nice to, see just a room full of folks that truly represent folks that are either drinking or in, the high spirit awards, as well. And
Yeah,
so
it's just an amazing group, and
it
the
is
and
an amazing group.
it with high spirits, it got for people who don't know, we started out as just a spirits competition. We do regular spirits, and of course, that includes ready-to-drink cocktails, and we do have non-alcoholic categories because that's a huge, growing, popular field, but there's also this explosion in THC-infused beverages, that's just yet another expansion of adult beverage choices, and we were the first to have a competition for that because it's another field that people don't have a lot of knowledge of, so one of the roles that competitions serve is to help people who don't know about something, don't know about a category, who don't know about a beverage, to say, "Here are experts who you can identify with." That's one reason for this diverse judging group. We have a group that these people you can identify with are directing you towards things they think you will enjoy. And so it's for the THC beverages, that was just a mind-bogglingly complicated and diverse group of drinks that we felt needed some guidance on, and it's been very well received.
Yeah, absolutely. And you were talking a bit about, what the outside doesn't see, right? At the LA Spirit Awards. Can you talk to, what is kind of that hard part of building something that people don't see behind the scenes?
Well, I think there's a common misconception about competitions is that a lot of people think it's pay to play. Like, you send us money, we'll give you an award. And I know of very few, it's not just us. I don't know of any competitions who do that. There may be some out there, but I don't know. I think people in the industry are very conscientious about keeping it as objective as possible. And, we're structured in a way that the judges have no knowledge of, they're tasting blind. They don't meet any of the producers. They have nothing because they're not involved in management at all. They're not privy to certain things. They don't know about personalities, or they have no way of having favoritism towards the drinks they're tasting, right? So
What you're saying is totally, on point. And, with that, because I think that it's interesting, as a judge, like you said, like we don't see the bottles. We don't
mhm,
know what's coming for us, right? Because it's totally blind. It's very fair. And I do believe that this is a really important time, especially for those independent brands to
mhm.
throw their hat in the ring.
Yes, and one of the reasons for the way it's structured is so that, you can be a little producer. I mean, we have people that's like husband and wife teams who've developed a vodka, it's their little passion project, and they're self-distributing, and they're local, and they're competing with the Diageos out there and the Brown-Forman. They're out there compete they can, the way we're structured, put their drinks in front of the judges, and the judges have no way of knowing whether they're a big power producer or whether it's a little mom and pop shop. It's a totally level playing field. And one of the things also that I think differentiates us because of that, there are a lot of competitions out there with that were started by spirits experts, and they're really good at what they do. They have great palates. They're really knowledgeable. I mean, I have nothing critical to say about them at all. But they started competitions, and because they are also judging, there's no way, not just that they can't keep separate they can't easily keep separate what they know about the products coming in and about the people who entered, but they also can't keep an eye on the room. We have what did we have this year? We were a little we had 18 judges this year or 20 now, I've lost count. It's a room with multiple judging panels, and the management of the competition has to keep track of what's going on in the room. Is somebody having a bad day? Is there a disagreement going on at a judging table about something? There's a lot of moderation that Nicolette does, not me so much, but Nicolette, that if you're one of the judges at the table and you're also the manager of the competition, you can't monitor what's going on. You can't see if judges are just going too fast to give a product its due consideration, or if for some reason they're not spitting enough and they're getting out of control. I mean, there's all sorts of things you need to
Sure.
control, and
Yeah.
I don't think you can do that if you're running a competition and judging a competition at the same time. I think
Yeah.
that's really important.
I
But
agree, I agree. There has to be somebody in the room that the judges can count on
uh-huh.
as either maybe a voice of reason to help if there is a dispute at the table, to help expand that judging panel then to maybe break a tiebreaker or, whatever it might
Sure,
be.
sure.
But
All of that management is being done at our competition mostly by Nicolette, and she's not involved in the judging. Whatever the judges come up with is what they agree with on what the award should be. We don't step in and say, "Well, that's not right." We have no say in that, and we shouldn't. Now, the other thing about our judging group, which I love to blow our horn about, is our judges seem to be more of the modern world. I mean, I think they're working in the industry, they're of the industry, and they're not. They're more open and excited about new developments. What I think is interesting, as much as seeing what they say about the whiskeys that are out there or the gins or the tequilas, is when there's something new. They're really great about not being prejudiced against a category because it doesn't fall into some expected thing of what a producer should be making. Whether it's a new product entirely or whether it's a spin on an existing established category. I just think our judges are open-minded. They understand how people consume these products in the wild, whether they're in a bar or whether they're, mixing something at home or whatever it is. I think they're more, we call them like the judging team of today is how we refer.
yeah, yeah, I see it's much more modern, right? Judging
Yeah.
team for sure. So with that said, Joel, because you are around, all the spirits, you've been part of the spirit competitions for quite a long time now. Is there a category that you believe is overdue for more attention?
Well, I am not sure, I think they're getting the attention. You know what? We're seeing a lot more mezcals. I think the main thing, it's not a standard spirit. We get a lot of non-alcoholic stuff now. There's a huge trend towards mindful drinking. And that's another thing. I think that if you're a traditionalist in the spirits industry and you only really take seriously whiskey and gin and tequila and, then partially that industry feels a little threatened by non-alcoholic stuff, or or it's looked down on because, well, there's a spirits competition. Why are we looking at things that aren't alcoholic? So I see a lot of stuff going on in the non-alcoholic side. The other thing, the explosion in ready to drinks is, every year there are more and more, and the quality is going way up. You've been in the industry long enough to remember early ready to drink cocktails.
Oh, they were awful. They were
They
so
were
bad. I mean, come
right.
on. They've been around for a long time. This is not a new thing whatsoever, but now we're just seeing, like, finally some quality.
Finally, right. I mean, it used to
Yes.
be, what they had going for them is that they were incredibly convenient, and you could sort of stop the description right there. And now they're really sophisticated, and they're some of them are amazing, and I don't know why it took so long, I'm a Manhattan drinker. There's 3 ingredients in it. It's rye, vermouth, and some bitters. Like, how can you why can't you put that in a can and have it be delicious? I don't know why it's taken so long, and now you can. Like, that's a really interesting phenomenon.
Yeah,
I don't
I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know since I'm not a producer, I don't know that if I were whiskey producer, whether I would I can understand why there might be some upset
Mm,
because if people are gonna start, buying cocktails in a can instead of going out and buying your whiskey, that's a problem, and this comes up a lot in the whole infused beverage world. There's a big upset in the spirits industry about the hemp beverage industry
yes.
because they see it as a threat,
Mm,
and, yes, there are consumer trends of cutting down on alcohol, about drinking non-alcoholic things or finding some alternatives, and there's the threat from RTDs against straight liquor. But the thing is, I think there's room for all of these things, and I don't see a problem with THC beverages, with hemp beverages, really threatening the spirits industry. I don't know why they're so upset about it. I think it's a totally manufactured prejudice because no one's giving up, for instance, they're not giving up their Pappy Van Winkle bourbon to drink grape soda that has THC in it. I mean, it's just not an equivalent. If
right.
you're a bourbon producer and you're worried about competition, look over your shoulder at the other bourbon producers. Don't look at, the existence of non-alcoholic beverages as a threat from the producer side. It might be from the consumer side that they're not, that they're moving towards drinking less, but it's not the product itself. The product is simply there as an additional choice of adult beverage out there, and I think, we're there to judge all of the things that make up adult beverages and
Yeah.
tell you what's good, and this competition between these diverse categories, I think, is false. I mean, if you're gonna be how can I put this? If you're a whiskey producer, why aren't you more would you be upset because gin is becoming popular? People don't seem to be complaining about other spirits, they're complaining about other categories entirely,
Right.
and that doesn't make any sense to me,
Mhm.
you know? There's also I mean, I we try to avoid discussing politics in our I mean, I don't think when you're discussing business, you should normally
Mhm.
get involved in politics, but the politics of the hemp industry
Oh, it's
just
like the wild, wild west. We
it's
know this.
insane.
It's
I mean,
insane,
it
and it
is
changes
insane.
on a dime. It
Right,
changes on a dime all the time.
and there are influences there, like, since, you know, the state of Kentucky is an interesting place. It is the major producer of bourbon, which I think arguably is America's whiskey. It's America's spirit. It's also the largest hemp growing state in the country, right? So they have 2 senators, both Republicans. One is has been paid a lot of money by the spirits industry to try to kill the hemp industry. And the other senator is a supporter of his constituents who are hemp farmers, who is a big supporter of hemp. And it's just an interesting think, I mean, if I don't know if you took money out of politics, whether this fight would continue, whether this battle would continue. I don't know. It's a disturbing sort of fly in the ointment of the
Yeah,
industry.
yeah.
So
And it can hinder a lot, right?
it can hinder a
Yep.
lot, and
Yeah, when people get into things.
lately, I mean, I think there's a certain hysteria. You know that tomorrow this ban goes into effect
Yes.
in California, where, for people who don't know, you know, hemp has basically been hemp drinks have been banned from being shipped into California. So there's a lot of direct to consumer sales from all of the hemp beverage producers, and now they're being eliminated from the California market. And then where is that pressure coming from? Is it coming from big marijuana who's threatened by hemp? Is it coming from the spirits industry? I'm not even sure about that. I haven't been paying too much attention to where the pressures are coming from. But I think the hemp industry is interested in common sense regulation, and unfortunately, the current Congress is so non-functional. I don't know that we're ever gonna get the common sense regulation, and there's a deadline of November of this year coming up when a ban that was voted in last November is supposed to take effect, and everyone thought, "Well, we'll give it a year, and then we're gonna come up with some common sense ways of dealing with it," and I don't know that that's gonna happen. I mean, I would hate to be a hemp beverage producer at the moment.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, and I'm hoping that things get ironed out sooner than later because folks who enjoy hemp would like to see, just the regulation of it be normalized and not
Mhm.
have it so one day we can have it, next day we can't have it. One day it's
Yeah,
overtaxed, it's just or you can get it here, you can't get it there. It needs to stop.
it needs to stop,
No, we're all
and
adults.
then and the people who are making arguments against, THC beverages that are derived from hemp, have, their excuses, they're protecting America's children. Well, if that were true, if that were true, then there wouldn't be well, there are various things there wouldn't be. For one thing, they just passed, the president is trying to make flavored nicotine vapes available again, which is
Right.
so obviously a danger to children,
Absolutely.
and that's all about money and corruption in politics. It has nothing to do with the safety of American children, and at one point, Governor Newsom in California passed an outright ban on hemp.
Mhm.
Instead of saying, "Okay, why don't we just make hemp apply to this, adhere to the same rules as recreational marijuana," which was all the whole infrastructure was all in place. They could have just said, "You have to adhere to the same rules," but they didn't, and finally, that got relaxed, and now I believe hemp does have to adhere to the same rules as marijuana and
Right.
is
Right.
available here. But the politics of it makes it so muddy and makes it so difficult for the industry, and it reduces consumer choices, it screws with businesses. It's disturbing. And this year
Yeah,
worse than ever because
it is.
the uncertainty has been, you know, here's something. We've been asking people on LinkedIn who's headed to New Orleans and, "Hey, do you wanna get together at Tales of the Cocktail if you're going?" And the
Mhm.
number of people who aren't going this year.
Yes, I do know this. So many industry folks cannot either afford to go or they're international and don't care to come to the United States right now.
Mhm.
There's a whole slew of reasons, whether it be the budgets aren't there for them to travel through, their job
Right.
maybe that normally hosts an event and now they're pulling back this year. So yeah, I mean, it's a wonky, wonky year for all of us. And I'm going to tell you something. I think that that's what makes the LA like this is why the LA Spirit Awards is important to brands because
Mhm.
you do give us a platform to celebrate those that are doing good work
Mhm.
to showcase and to get them top of mind of consumer. And that more than anything right now is so important. It's
It's so
so
important.
important. And,
Mhm.
with that, I do wanna ask you, Joel, are there some common mistakes that brands do that kinda keeps them from winning awards? Whether it's they're not filling out
I
their entry form correctly, they're waiting too late to enter, I don't know, what does that look like behind the scenes? Like, gosh, I wish these brands would do this, right? To
We
help them, give
do.
them a leg up.
W I don't know whether the problems with that are solvable by telling what like, I don't know if I say so whether it'll get people to turn in their things, but, we have a deadline. Give a deadline, and we hope people get it, and in time, it gives us time to get the products into our system, get them sorted, get them there's a lot of work involved in this, it's not just a product comes in, we taste it, and give it an award. It has to I mean, we have hundreds and hundreds of entries and multiple bottles per entry, and they have to be sorted and labeled and categorized and then, arranged. And so we can't get it the day of. And so getting their stuff on time is important. But I've had people call and say, "Hey, entered online 2 months ago. When do you need the product?" It's like, well, the deadline is the deadline, whether it's for the forms or the products. The products have to be here. There's some sort of block against getting their products in on time. I mean, I don't wanna criticize my customers, but
No, absolutely
it
not,
would
but
be it would
like
be nice
yeah,
if
to give
they
them a
could get
heads
stuff
up,
in on
like,
time. Yeah.
earlier is best, folks. If you're listening to this podcast, get those spirits,
Get
get
them.
them in early, folks.
Yeah.
Get 'em in early.
But again, they should know that even if they really annoy us by getting their stuff in really, really late, it does not affect any chance of an award. The judges don't know that. So we protect our entrance from the judges knowing that they haven't gotten stuff in on time. For the
Yeah,
most part, our
yeah, yeah,
our entrants are incredibly enthusiastic, and
yeah.
they're incredibly excited, and I love dealing with them. I mean, it's really one of the fun parts of my
Well,
job.
I'm sure, and you get to see that excitement as well on the other side, right?
Yeah.
When the judgment's over and you get to let them know for those
Oh,
who
yeah.
actually won something, that has to be what's that moment like?
Yeah. Well, that's really fun, and one of the things, we have some people who have been late with their entries, and we do when things miss the deadline and we can't get the products in front of our judges, we do carry on a late tasting. And I don't divulge that information to encourage people to be late with their entries, but one of the difference is, the way the competition is structured is, first of all, competition, I'm always telling people, is a misnomer. The initial medallion rounds, when people are awarded a gold, silver, bronze, or platinum medal, that's not a competition. Everything's being judged on its own merit. So, if you're tasting a flight of gin, and let's say you have 8 gins in front of you, saying that glass B is worthy of a platinum medal does not diminish the chances for glass F from getting platinum medal. There's no limit to the number of medals that the judges are allowed to give out. Everything's judged on its own. It's not a competition. Where the competition comes in is for all of the products that win platinum medals in the initial medaling rounds, those all advance to our best in show round, where the best of each category are tasted again, and there it becomes a competition. Of all of the gins that got into the final round, which one do the judges think are the best, and in that case, all the judges in the room retaste everything, and they have a vote about what they think is the best, and that's what awards the best gin, the best the best small batch bourbon, etcetera.
Sure,
And
sure.
so one of the things, if someone gets their stuff in too late
Mhm,
to be tasted at the main event, they're still eligible for medals because we call in a group of judges
mhm.
to a late tasting of everything. But there can be really fantastic stuff that came in late and they'll get a platinum medal, but they won't be eligible to compete for best in show because they
Got it. Because
missed that
they missed that
opportunity.
window. Right, right.
And the thing is, while there's no limit on the number of platinum medals or gold medals or silver medals that can be given by the judges, there is only one best in show for each category. So the chances of them getting a best in show, I mean, it is very competitive and there's only one winner, so they're not missing an enormous amount by getting their stuff in late, but they're missing that one chance. It's like buying a lottery ticket and not being eligible for the grand prize. So I do encourage people to get their stuff in on time.
Absolutely. What's next for the LA Spirit Awards?
Uh, at the moment, it has nothing to do with spirits or competition. I'm working on merch.
Merch. I love it. About time. I would love a hoodie.
I don't know if you remember the T-shirt I was wearing at the competition this year, but I
Mm,
have a whole line of famous paintings which
mhm.
have been reimagined where the subjects are drinking.
Oh,
So
how very fun.
yeah, so I think the one I was wearing at the competition was Whistler's mother
Mhm.
is sipping a Cosmo.
Oh my gosh.
And so we have another one of American Gothic, the farmer couple in front of the house,
Yeah.
one from the Chicago artist,
Mhm.
and the man is holding a tray with a martini pitcher in
That is
front
so fun. So when will these be available?
I'm working on it, I'm supposed
Where
to
can
get it
people find these, Joel? Where will
up.
they be able to purchase?
Well, I'm hoping to have them up on our website, but, soon, but we're just starting it. This is
Yeah.
a teaser maybe because
Yeah,
this
a
is
little
being
teaser.
because you said this is gonna be several weeks before this podcast
Yes.
airs, maybe they'll be available on our
Well,
website by the
okay.
time
We'll be
people should
watching.
you know what? Everyone needs to go to our website, and at the bottom of every page, there's a subscribe button, and if you subscribe to our mailing list, we will let you know.
There you
But
go.
they're really fun, and I'm working on that.
I love it. I
So
love
as
it.
far as what's next for that's one of the things that we're working on. As far as other things, we're working on various promotional things for our winners. We're working with some of it I can't really talk about yet. We're talking about working some cooperative things with to promote our High Spirits Awards winners in
Mhm.
Minnesota through a retail partnership. We're talking about doing some cocktail classes with a local spirits merchant that will be featuring our winners. We
Mhm.
have a number of things we're trying to work on to
Oh, I think that that's
promote them.
wonderful. All very exciting
Yeah,
things. And
yeah.
then my final question for you today is, what do you hope to be celebrating this time next year? Speaking in the lens of the LA Spirit Awards and High Spirit Awards.
Oh, hitting 3,000 entries.
There we go. That's a good number. I love it. I love it. Let's do it together. Hit that 3,000 mark.
Yeah, what should we be celebrating? I don't know. There are so many problems in the industry, and I mean, I feel bad for myself too, but I really feel bad for the industry, for our producers. You know, the number of bankruptcies and the number of layoffs and, the number of companies who have suspended production because they have this huge glut. It's just so frustrating, and I think that, again, I don't wanna get into a lot of politics, but, one of the things that's come up with when I was talking about the bourbon people and the hemp people in Kentucky, one of the big problems is this antagonizing the government has been doing of Canada, which is a huge trading
Yeah,
partner. They're
it's
not selling our alcoholic products. It's like,
Yep.
well, don't look at, other people in the industry as the source of these problems. These problems are being caused by external forces that, what are my hopes for next year? I'm hoping all of this goes away, I think
Amen to that. Amen to
yeah.
that. I think that that's a wonderful note to end on, that all of this gets easier, better. You have 3,000 plus, spirits that entered and that we've all healed. And I
That
think that,
wouldn't that be
that
great?
would be amazing. And Joel, I hope that you come back next year and give us an update,
Okay,
share the good news as well. And with that,
okay.
you know what, Joel? I just want to wish you some great health and, a lot of peace. Thank you so
Thank you.
much for joining me on Served Up today.
Great talking to you, Bridget. I really appreciate it. It's great being on here.
Thanks for listening. Served Up is brought to you by Southern Glazers Wine and Spirits. Produced by Zunu.online. Music by We Killed the Lion can be found on Spotify. Make sure to subscribe to be notified of our future Served Up episodes. Cheers.